But I also want to get your take on what you've been doing in terms of counterfeiting. But before that, I've got to ask you about the trust issue with China. They knew that coronavirus had happened back in December. They sent a delegation to the White House to shake everybody's hand. They knew that they had this virus that had started for the phase one. Then they sent the largest delegation ever to Davos. And now the ambassador to China was on one of the Sunday shows this weekend, and he did not deny that coronavirus could have started in a weapons lab. I mean, this is huge stuff. I mean, he really needed a follow-up on this, but he didn't deny it. Senator Tom Cotton has been tweeting about this. Do we know if this started in a research lab, and how come they won't allow the CDC in there to better understand how this started? Because if they started this in a weapons lab, that's evidence that they are developing or trying to develop weapons of mass destruction, biological weapons.
So let's try to unpack a lot of things that's going on there. I think that the question of how this started ultimately has to be answered. I don't think now is necessarily the time to do that, because what we have to do is fight the crisis first. But China will have to be held accountable for how that started. 14 years ago, in a book called The Coming China Wars that I wrote, I actually predicted a pandemic from virus from China, precisely because of the way they run their country in terms of their animal husbandry practices. So whether it was bats or other things, I'm not really sure at this point. But I was very surprised that the Chinese ambassador did not answer that question.